This is going to be some food for thought. I'm not a specialist in anything, so don't believe me. I was thinking about human nature. It is part of human nature to help those in need, right? When someone is sick, kind of help them out. It's human nature, right? You can also observe this in certain animals. Yeah, but humans made it a job to help others. I just wish it was family actually that took care of family, not strangers. But now we have this weird modern world in which everybody has to work and there's no time to take care of those that need. I think society has lost a lot of dignity in these past 20 years. I'm of the opinion that dignity is the measure, the terms of measure, and not the terms of comfort that a standard of living can be properly called high. I think we've been losing a lot of dignity to this machine that we call modernity. They are under the impression that progress is something they have to attain. This thing called progress. It's like a carrot on a stick, you know. They are thinking about, they are switching, forfeiting the present for this thing called progress that's in the future, you see. So they're constantly searching this thing called progress, completely ignoring the present and burying the past because self analysis, you know, reflection, meditating on your actions is something that the system doesn't want you to do. So, for instance, the victims of the COVID must never forget. We must never forget what happened, and we have to keep talking about it because the system in place, they don't want accountability, or absolutely not. So it is part of human nature when someone gets sick to take care of them, you know. When someone slips and falls, it is part of human nature to just approach, say, do you need help? Is everything okay? It's part of human nature. It's part of human nature if, even if you are getting paid handsomely, you know, to work in one of these boxes full of patients, to take care of them, even though you're getting paid, but it's part of human nature to stick around with these patients. It's not human to abandon your patients because just because like during the COVID there was lots of patients that was abandoned. Not all, of course, but it is part of human nature to make the world a better place. What does it matter to have a big account with full of money, you know, a good a gigantic bank account, or surround yourself with material things? What point is there if then society, the place you live, is rotten? Doesn't make any sense. What matters is relationships with others, dignity, you know, honor, justice, peace, reciprocity. That's what matters. That's what makes life worth living. It's not, you know, materialism. It doesn't make any sense. And a lot of people are realizing it slowly, but they are realizing it. We are at the peak of human degeneracy at the moment. Let's see if this thing go back to normal. At least, a thing that I a lot of people just bury their head in the sand, so to speak. They don't. I'm not seeing. I'm not hearing. They don't want to know. But not talking about it, and not, I wouldn't say make opposition. I would say little things, little actions, little things in their daily life. If you can change, do not comply, not become part of this degeneracy. The little things like helping someone who slipped, you know, or help them pick up the stuff they were carrying, help an old lady, carry her bags, something like that. Just little things may change the world into a better place. The perversion of the people in charge, and I wouldn't call them elites. I just call them the people in charge. They are not elites. An elite, is a professional pianist or violinist, or an elite is a professional plumber or a professional agriculture or a professional doctor. That's an elite. People in charge are not elites. They are pathological, mediocre. I mean, don't call them elites. Um, it is human nature to help those in need. I mean, so when someone gets sick, you help them get better. If they are bedridden, if they go to bed and can't stand for a couple of days, you check their temperature, you give them nice warm food, lots of liquids, you take care of them until they get better. That's human nature. Doctors and nurses do the same thing. They nurture, I mean, theoretically, they nurture patients back to health, at least the ones who care. It is part of human nature, right? That's the logical thing to do, right? When patients, during a conflict, soldiers or civilians just start feeling, these improvised hospitals, people take care of them, right? It's part of human nature. I'm trying to make this point. It's part of human nature, right? So imagine that it is true, this thing called the Smyrus. I'm not going to even say the name. The Smyrus, the Cyrus, or the Smilyrus. These microscopic things. Imagine that they are true, and imagine if contagion was also true. Imagine if contagion was true. Just imagine. Would it be part of human nature to take care of those who are sick? It wouldn't, would it? If it was true, when someone got infected with something, it wouldn't be part of our culture, of our human behavior to take care of those who are sick, right? We would abandon them immediately, right? But that's not the case, is it? It's just slight, small observation of reality. Contagion is not true. Because if it was, the most common thing you would hear on television or newspapers is, you know how people nowadays live in these boxes called apartments? The most common thing would be apartment, whatever place, everybody is locked in because someone went on some tropical paradise and bring back some bug that bit him and bring back some, tropical, disposition. Just breathing the same air in the same corridors or sharing the elevator or saying good morning or whatever. would, I mean, theoretically put the whole building at risk. I mean, the most common thing you would hear, it is a city of, I don't know, New York or Rio de Janeiro, which, has millions of people. The most common thing would be millions of people can't go to work because so and so got sick. Because if contagion was true, life just couldn't possibly exist. It is against natural order, it's against logic, it's against everything, it's against human nature. The most common thing would be that. Cities, so and so. I mean, cities would be impossible to exist. The concept of a city, of the concept of getting together in mass, or getting together when you see millions of people in a soccer stadium, it would be impossible. It's against every type of logic. Someone said, if contagion was true, everybody would get it. And then there's the gaslighting. Oh, but they are asymptomatic. That's gaslighting. That's gaslighting. That doesn't mean anything. You see, doctors, the ones who weren't cowards anyway, who stayed behind and helped their patients during the most epic, contagious COVID bullshit. The ones who stayed behind and helped the patients, they didn't get it. They didn't get it. The ones who ran away, those should get fired. Those are in the wrong line of job. They should find another job. Being a doctor would be practically impossible because you're constantly dealing with sick people. If contagion was true, I mean, the most common thing would be a doctor. Look, he's contracted, dozens of diseases. If it was true. Contagion is superstition. Contagion is pathological lies, just to destroy your psyche, to destroy your ability to be human. So anyway, tell me what you guys think. Have a nice day.